Hey guys, it's Garrett here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to the different parts that you need to include in your sales letter. If you've never written a sales letter, I'm going to go ahead and show you a quick way to get one up, and then I'm going to show you in the next video actually how to create your upsell sales letter. So there's a big difference between the sales letter and the upsell. Obviously, they won't get to the upsell page until after they buy. So your main goal on any sales page like this is to create trust. People aren't going to buy from you if they don't trust you. So your main goal is to establish yourself as the expert in your market and gain the trust of the reader. Only then will they actually click on the buy now button. People don't buy from people that they don't trust. So just keep that in mind when you're writing. On here, I've got the headline right here, and I've got the pre-headline up here. And I'm using this pre-headline. You can kind of use a pre-headline to call out another benefit to the reader. What this one is doing is saying, "Attention, beginner welders." So this is a welding site that I created. I am a hobby welder, so I decided I was going to go ahead and make a product about how to weld. So I teach people how to weld. It's a video course. So if you were teaching people how to stop having heartburn, you could say, "Attention, heartburn sufferers." This is called a flag, or it's just a way to tell the reader, "Hey, this is for you." So, attention, internet marketer, attention, back pain sufferer, get lifetime access to my premium MIG welding training package, trusted by over 5,000 members. Now, this is social proof. This is showing them that other people, a lot of other people have gone through this course and they've been successful with it. So, and they trust it. So then we go down to the headline. The headline is the most important piece of written content on your page. You want to get this one right, because this is what actually reaches out, grabs the reader by the throat, and pulls them in. And the whole point of the headline is to get them to move down lower and start reading your body copy. So this one says, "The unusual secret I've developed that lets anyone master MIG welding in 90 minutes or less." So you want to be specific in your marketing or your headline. Any marketing message that you have, it's better to be specific by saying things like, "How to make $34,563 in 3 months, and in 30 days." Whatever, just be specific. It's more believable. People will believe that rather than being like outrageous and saying how to make $10 million in 6 months. People aren't going to believe that. You want to give them something that they can swallow. So this one says you also would want to focus on like things that invoke curiosity. The unusual secret I developed. So if they're new to MIG welding, then they're going to want to know what is the secret that he's talking about. So now I'm going to scroll down a little farther, and anytime you start your sales letter, you want to start out with a talking to your market. So this says, "Dear beginner welder." You could say, "Dear internet marketer," "Dear back pain sufferer," so they know that this is for them. And oops, scroll down a little bit too far. So start your sales letter out by addressing the problem. An easy way to do it is, remember this. This is a 3-step formula. State the problem, agitate the reader, and then tell them the solution to the problem. So you're going to want to say something along the lines of, "Hey, I know you're suffering. I know you're probably staying up at night because you can't sleep because of your heartburn. And I know it's difficult because you can't spend the time with your family that you'd like to spend. It's affecting your work life, and I know every time you lay your head down at night, you have to just stare up at the ceiling and just know that you're not going to fall asleep for another 2 hours because your heartburn is so bad." Something along those lines. That's just real quick. I just threw that out there. But talk about that, state the problem, then agitate the reader. You want to sell on emotion. So you want to get the reader emotionally involved. You want to bring up those pain points that the reader that the person experiencing the problem is having, and then really agitate that, get them thinking about it and how bad it affects their lives. And just scrolling down here, you want to make sure on your sales letters, because a lot of people are going to scroll, they're not going to read the whole thing, that you're going to have subheadings that are going to jump out at people. So this subheading right here says, I discovered a truly unusual secret that literally transforms complete beginners into near professionals in under 90 minutes. So again, I'm being specific here. Unusual secret. If they're a beginner, they're gonna want to know what is this secret, you know. So let's scroll down a little bit further. When I shared these methods with my friends, the results were astounding. So again, I'm just kind of hitting on the social proof that you know, this worked. This worked for my friends when they tried it. Anyone can learn to weld using my secret 6-step formula. Again, being specific. Over 5,213 students have trusted me to help them master MIG welding in the past 12 months alone. Again, specific and using numbers gets people to stop. If they're scrolling and they see numbers, it's going to make a lot more people. It jumps out at them. Numbers jump out at them. They break the text up and they help. So use a lot of numbers in your subheadings. But you want your subheadings to be benefit driven. You want them to explain or at least tell the reader, you know, this is how this will benefit you. Let me scroll down a little bit further. You want to include some testimonials. Of course, those, when you have testimonials, that's one of the biggest things, that if you leave those out on your sales page, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. So always include testimonials. Don't be afraid to ask people that have gone through your course to give you testimonials, to tell you what they thought about the course, because a lot of people aren't going to go about it on their own to send you testimonials. Okay, scroll down a little bit further. And right here, I'm saying introducing the 90-minute MIG Mastery course. This is basically where I'm introducing the course, and I give them a sample of what they'll get inside, a little video, and I actually show them me, you know, a video of me welding and showing them. It's proof that I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. Just this image right here. If this was just an image and not a video, just this image shows proof, because it's showing me sitting right next to my welding machine. And make sure you're including social proof or any kind of proof factors like that. Okay, scroll down a little bit further. Here I've got some images. It's good to include images in your sales copy. You want to bring out, you know, you want to tell the reader, imagine what it's going to be like when you finally get your new welder and you have a great new hobby and you're creating stuff that you can sell for cash. You know, imagine creating a barbecue pit that you can turn around and sell for $5,000. You know, how would $5,000 help you? Could you think of a way to spend an extra $5,000? You know, get them to imagine what you're talking about, and it's nice to use images like that. Right here, I'm saying without buying expensive tools, without having your own welding shop. I'm hitting the objections that the reader has. So they might think, well, I can't learn how to weld, it's too expensive. Well, no, actually it's not. You don't have to buy expensive tools to get started. So let's scroll down a little bit further. Here I'm going through the course modules. There are 7 modules, I think, in this course. 6, maybe. 6. Yeah, there's 6. I've got some more testimonials here. And I take them into the members area right here. So this is another proof factor. So you can show them, okay, after you buy, this is where you're going to go. You're going to get instant access to this members area. And that's what I've got. I've got the walkthrough showing them everything they get. I've got some more testimonials. A lot of testimonials. And then I've got the bonus section right here. So right here I'm just building value. You know, I'm letting them know, hey, you're not only getting the course, but you're also getting all these sweet bonuses, and you want to, you notice here I've got $17 value, $17 value. You want to put a value to these bonuses. They don't know what people don't know how to value these kind of things, so you need to tell them. You know, they're gonna look at this, and if you don't add a value, there's no way to really build it up. So right here I'm showing them all these bonuses. It's $127 of value. And $127.97. So let me scroll down a little further, tell them how much it is, and you need to include a guarantee with every offer that you make. Guarantee reverses the risk. So basically, I'm saying, hey, if you don't like this for any reason at all, contact me and I'll give you a complete refund within 60 days. If you leave the guarantee out, you're leaving a lot of money on the table because you're not going to make as many sales. Okay, and then I've got the secure order form right here. Again, I'm repeating back to them what they get. They're getting all 6 modules plus all 7 bonuses. That's a $127 value, just the bonuses alone. And then right here, I said, why spend $20,000 at a welding school to learn exactly what I teach you in this course for a tiny fraction of the price? I normally charge just $197, but since I'm doing a market test to see if a lower price will sell more units, you're in luck. So it's just $47 today. So basically what I'm doing here is called a price drop. I'm going from $197, the regular price, down to $47. But before I even get to that, I'm letting them know, look, if you go to a welding school, you're going to pay $20,000. And when they compare that number to $47, $47 sounds like nothing. And that's why anytime you sell a product, you want to find out, you want to build the value of your offer so that it looks very minimal what they have to spend to get it. And another technique to do that is compare it. Compare what it costs, $47, to the price of a cup of coffee for 1 month. Or you could say for the price of a dinner out. Get the reader to imagine in their minds, how cheap your course actually is. But you really do have to act now. I'm building some urgency right here. It's $47, but if they wait and they come back, it's going to be $197. So I'm just building the urgency. Okay, I tell them that they've really got a simple choice. That option 1 is they could do nothing. Option number 2 is that they could take what they learned in this letter and just kind of try to figure it out on their own. But that's kind of a terrible idea because you could end up worse off than you started if you go about it like that. And then there's option 3. You can purchase the course today at 100% risk-free. And if you don't like it for any reason, you can return it within 60 days. So basically, I'm reversing the risk. I'm taking all the risk with this, and then at the end, you always want to include a PS. So a lot of the readers will scroll right to the end to see what the price is, and they might scroll down to the end. And so I've included PS. Last warning: if you don't buy today, you'll miss out on the 75% off. Only a price of $47. All 6 training models. So basically what I'm doing here is, if the reader just reads the headline and they scroll all the way down and they see this, then at least if this is the only part they read, then at least they know that it's 75% off, and if they come back, it's going to be $197 in the future. So that's it for the sales page. I just wanted to get you primed on that because the next video is going to be about creating your upsell page. So that's it for this video.